Good evening, and welcome to another World of Warships video with Captain Darkwing Glacier. In this battle, I am taking out my premium Tier 6 French destroyer, the Aigle. Now, that's French for eagle, and I don't know how good my pronunciation was. I tried to look it up on Google Translate, and it's not Aigle, which is what I originally thought it was. It's Aigle. So, I think no matter how much I study French, I'm still going to sound horrible doing it, so I will probably switch between just saying eagle or aigle, depending on how French I'm feeling at the time. So in any case, this is one of my first battles in this ship. I have had it for a little while, but I haven't played it all that much, so I'm still kind of getting used to it. The key thing about French destroyers seems to be that they're extremely fast. They have a very good engine boost. See, as you can see, I'm at full speed and I'm doing 37 knots, which is, pretty decent for a Tier 6 ship. And I am approaching the cap on the map straight. We are on a Tier 6 map. And one thing about the ship is that I also only have, I believe, a 5-point captain on it because I am still relatively new to this ship, and there isn't all that many other ships you can have your French destroyer captain on, except for Le Terrible, which I do not have at this point. So this is the only ship I could practice with my DD captain, and so that's why I don't have him that very powerful yet. So I sneak into the cap and I cut my engine a little bit. I'm trying to keep the island between me and most of the enemy because I do not have concealment expert yet. There's an enemy T-61, which is definitely a threat. It's far more powerful, I think, than I am, especially with my low captain. It's more maneuverable, has better torpedoes, not quite as fast as me though. So I launch some preemptive torpedoes and I try to get some shots off, but he is, unfortunately from my perspective, behind the island. So I fire my second wave of torpedoes, hoping to, maybe he'll blunder into them or something. But in any case, at least just to get him to turn away and get out of the cap. But it looks like I might get lucky. Nope, torpedoes miss. The T-61 is maneuverable enough to get away from my torpedoes, but successfully I am close enough behind the island that I'm not going to be taking any damage yet from any of the other ships that are looking at me, except for the ones that are over there. The König and the New York are looking at me from my bow, and I'm kind of caught between the crossfire of the two people, of the two groups of ships. If I avoid one, the other one's going to get a beat on me. So I decide that this is the time I got to pop my smoke. Of course, the instant I do, I'm detected by what is undoubtedly the T-61's hydroacoustic. So here come the torpedoes. Those look like those are from our carrier, but I'm expecting some from the T-61 any minute, and I need to be ready for that. So I do start a fire on somebody there. The T-61 torpedoes coming off on my starboard side, and he is moving south of the island, and I'm not in a position to shoot at him. Fortunately, I guess I'm out of range of his hydro, so I'm able to just kind of sit tight and try to complete the cap. Now, the Aigle is not really designed to just sit in one place. Its advantage is its speed and able to rapidly deploy to where it's needed the most. And so I'm kind of just maneuvering back and forth here, trying to see if I can get a shot off on the T-61. And soon enough, about 30 seconds from now, my smoke is going to disappear, and then I'll have to get moving again. The enemy New York is getting awfully close, and my torpedo tubes are reloaded. Okay, I get one more shot off on the T-61. Can I finish him off? Yes. That's kill number 1, and that's also the elimination of a very big threat. So now, this New York, honestly, I'm not really sure what he was thinking. Moving into a cap with two destroyers is not the wisest move, as another YouTuber might say. It's very questionable on his part. So I send all my torpedoes his way and come up with 2 hits there, and if one of these hits, he's toast. That's kill number 2. Unfortunately, we still don't have this cap yet because I've been continually taking damage, which is resetting the cap time. But hopefully, maybe I can just go quiet for a minute and see if we can actually finish the job here. Another, unfortunately, is that the Aigle is rather a large destroyer, so you're a big target for those enemy battleships and cruisers who can damage you from quite far away. They don't have to have the perfect aim that you need for much smaller destroyers. So now my detection goes back to normal. I can just kind of chill out in the cap for the remaining 1 second to go, and we complete the cap. So now that we've gotten this, it's time for me to go hunting, because there are no, or at least none as far as we can tell, enemy destroyers down here. I can just start going after the 2 remaining battleships and the cruiser. We are currently ahead 1 ship. We've taken out 2 of their destroyers and 1 battleship, and we have lost 2 ships of our own. And we are ahead on points. We have 2 caps, although it looks like they're sending a ship into Cap Bravo at this point, so that will negate our points gathering rate such that we will just maintain the lead we have and not increase it faster than they will. So I begin heading north thinking, okay, maybe I can take out the enemy Aigle and reduce them to 1 destroyer. Well, yeah, it looks like they have a Nicholas up north as well. But since the Aigle is going behind the island, I'm not sure if I should continue after him. I take a peek at the ships over to the east where the enemy carrier is now visible. And the Aigle looks like he's going to be taken out by our Bayern, Texas, and if we have any other ships there, yeah, it looks like the Texas takes him out. So now I'm going to go through the gap anyway, or at least I think I'm going to go through the gap. Or do I change my mind at this point? It's been a while since I played this game, so I don't remember everything that went on. Yeah, at this point I think I'm going to go after the carrier and or the other ships over here. Because if I can take that carrier out of the game, that's another big threat I don't have to worry about. And if I can take out the cruiser as well, who's already down to about only 1/3 health, then that's another serious threat that's removed from me, and then those 2 battleships are sitting ducks for my torpedoes. Even though the Aigle cannot launch from torpedoes from stealth, that's mainly because I don't have concealment expert. So I can still predict their movements and get torpedoes off without getting destroyed, but that definitely would be an advantage to take out the cruiser and the carrier. So I pop my smoke thinking maybe I can take out this cruiser just by sitting in the smoke and firing at him. I launch some torpedoes, hopefully maybe to get the Koenig there. And I continue firing at the La Glacière. The air, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that one either. I'll have to look at Google Translate and see what it tells me. So I prepare to fire my second barrage of torpedoes. I am just south of that island there, so to make sure that they go their maximum range. The Legal is almost dead, but he repaired his fire. I'm pretty sure I can take this guy out, though. 1 hit. There we go. That's kill number 3. Now, unfortunately, I can't really see all that much, so I'm guessing where the Koenig is. And he has turned away from my torpedoes, and it looks like they ran out of steam just before hitting him, so he's able to get away from that, but I believe he also ran aground, so at least he's out of the fight for a little bit. I still have 20 seconds left on my smoke, so I can continue firing at him, and now I switch to the Independence, who now pops up on, he comes into detection. He is sending his bombers and after me, but I'm still stuck in the smoke, and I just gun my engine to get out of there because it's about to stop anyway, or the smoke is about to run out, that is. And I kick off my engine boost. So I'm at 38 knots and increasing. So I start turning away because I don't want to get shot by a broadside on these 2 battleships. I do take another hit there, and I need to open up the distance a little bit to throw off their aim. I continue to shoot at the Independence. I really hope I can take this guy out. I'm now up to 43.7 knots. And one of the things you have to realize with a ship that's this fast, most destroyers are fast, and when you avoid enemy fire, you bob and weave and you try to throw off their aim and so on. But one of the things you have to keep in mind is that that doesn't work quite so well with a ship like the Aigle. It is not as maneuverable as other destroyers, and it's large. So your key thing that you want to maximize is your speed. You want to keep that speed as high as possible for as long as possible. And as counterintuitive as it seems, that means sailing in a straight line. So when the enemy tries to line up on you, if you have engine boost on, they're almost inevitably not going to give you enough lead. In fact, on maximum zoom, your ship will not even be in their what do I want to call it? It won't even be in the field of view when they fire. And it's really hard to aim at something that you can't see in your viewfinder. So the way to combat that is that you actually zoom in all the way and then use your mouse wheel to back off one step. And then you can usually get the ship that you're aiming at within your field of view when you fire. But if you don't do that, look what just happened. His shells went way behind me. And if I keep my speed up high enough, that's going to keep on happening. He's going to have a very hard time adjusting to that. If, like this shot, he actually does manage it, notice I was only doing 35 knots at that time, then you have to start bobbing and weaving to throw off his aim once again, and then you can go back to full speed and so on. Anything to throw off his aim. But you have to realize that the Aigle's saving grace is not its maneuverability, it's its speed. And it can fly like the wind. So when you're broadside to them, get up to that 43 knots or more and let that speed save you. And you have to hold back from maneuvering to try to dodge the enemy shots, because all that will do is slow you down and allow more shells to hit you. So at this point, I finally was able to whittle down and take out the enemy carrier, giving me kill number 4. His planes are still in the area and detecting me. I need to get out of detection of them, and then I can start hunting these 2 remaining battleships. And I'm also trying to open up the distance from them so they don't finish me off with one well-placed broadside. See, here comes another one. I'm only doing 31 knots now, and I take a hit. So my first set of torpedoes miss, and it's at this point I realize, we're at 970 points. And where we have all 3 caps, it's not going to be very long, less than 10 seconds until the game is over. So I can just turn right in on the Koenig, just farm a little bit more damage before we get to 1,000 points and win the game. So the Aigle is it's a decent ship. You have to learn how to play it differently from other destroyers if you want to get the most out of it. If you try to play it like a very maneuverable boat, it's not going to work for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.